how did American Icon come about?
I mean, Jim Brown actually create a program called American Foundation for Social Change. He felt that if he could change the mindset of a predator from a negative to a positive and put that predator right back in his own community, that he feel that once he changed that attitude from I can to I can, that person can be just as effective in a positive way as he was in a negative way. And I'm a prime example of that change. So when he got all the Crips and Bloods and Spanish gangs together, and someone told me about what he was doing, I said, well, if he ain't got me, he ain't got no gang members. You know, so what I did was I took about 60 Compton Crips up there, and at that time they had that Tasha Harling with a Korean store owner killed a little black girl, and they was up there trying to mend the fences and fix things, but I had no conscience of that because I was deep into the streets, you know, fresh out of doing over 19 and a half years incarcerated. So I wasn't thinking about anything. So when I went up there, I saw gang members, but I also saw Koreans up there. And I'm like, I thought it was supposed to be gangs. Why these Koreans up here with cameras and stuff? And I took offense to it, not necessarily because they was Korean, but I thought it was for gang members, that he had gangsters up there. And I'm a gangster, you know, and I always felt that I was the ultimate gangster. So when I went up there and I saw that, I'm like, man, fuck this shit, man. I ain't trying to stay for this shit, you know. And a couple of guys tried to reach out to him. I said, you touch me again, man, I'm going to break your arm. I said, let's go. So as we were leaving, me and my guys, a couple things occurred. As we were leaving, Jim Brown had all the respect in the world for me, as disrespectful as I was. He's had some misunderstandings. Rocc Head from the Compton Crips, Santana Block Gang, and they supposed to come tomorrow, not today. And so it was a total misunderstanding. And as we leaving, the Koreans was bringing food in. And as they bringing the food in, you know, some of my young homies, like, big homie, can we at least stay and eat the food? And I'm like, man, fuck that motherfucking food. But in the back of my head, with my ace homeboy, I said, man, these motherfuckers hungry. They do, you know, they up here with me. They hungry. Niggas, we got to feed them.
Yeah.
You know, so we stopped at the Fat Burgers off San Francisco and Sunset Boulevard. They used to have out there on that corner. And we fed all the homies, you know, as we eating there, you know, the feds and all the undercovers came to mess with us. You got like 25, 30 carloads of gangsters, you know, kind of shook up their little city real quick.
Yeah.
You know. But that's basically, so what I did was with the American, once I went through his 15 chapter life skills program and realized that I wasn't cursed at birth, that I am somebody. And that's what the curriculum teaches you. You're not cursed at birth, then you are somebody. In his 15 chapter, attitude change, the three forms of motivation, fear, incentive, and attitude change. Fear is recognized as one of the most negative but well-known motivation in the world, but the most negative. Incentive is good to open the door up with, but you don't want to depend upon it. And attitude change because it's the right thing to do. So once I went through that process and started understanding me, and I eventually took responsibility for myself, I had some kids on my block. I was standing in West LA off Point View and Pico Boulevard in West LA, you know, by the schoolyards, by the Mansfield, Playboy Gangsters, you know, and some kids was playing. They asked me to take them to a gym. Man, can you take us to this game at Long Beach State where they had Slammer Jam, Izzy Washington? So I got the kids in my car and I took them. And I'm saying, man, why y'all not playing? I felt they was just as good as the next person. But I have no knowledge about basketball. But watching them play on the streets every day, I thought they were better than most of them. And are we gang members? Are we at risk to gang? We go to continuation school. It was everything negative and everything for even more reasons why they should be playing. And I said, you know what, man, how can I be a part of this? They said, well, that's Izzy Washington right there, man. You got to talk to him. So I walked down the little bleachers. I said, how you doing, Mr. Washington? I'm Rocc Johnson from Jim Brown's American Foundation. I'm curious about how can we be a part of this. He said, well, you know, this tournament is almost over with, and we got another tournament that I'm putting on with ARC in Vegas, you know, the grand finale. And I said, well, how can I be a part of it? Well, 600 a team is in Vegas. I said, okay. So I asked the youngsters, well, how many teams do you think we're going to have? I know shit about basketball. I mean, they look at me like, big Rocc Head, we get two teams. I said, well, 2 teams. He said, well, that's going to be $1,200. You know, here go my number. I said, hold it, man, you know. got my pocket, and I gave Izzy Washington the money.
Right there on the spot?
Right there on the spot. And I got the kids in the car like, how we going to do this? Oh, you know they got to watch something. I said, what's the watch summer games? Y'all got to understand, I'm a gangster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just did over 19 and a half years in prison. When Jim Brown helped me save myself and take responsibility for myself, right during that time, I was doing a lot of wicked stuff. I was pistol whooping people. You know, I was really putting it down, you know, claiming Santana Block, Compton Crib, you know, and as hard as I was putting it down, I'm like, I didn't know about how to deal with kids. And, you know, and I think back sometimes, I remember in 4800, the Crip module, when I came down from Folsom State Prison in 1986, you know, the OSS Gang Task Force unit said, man, your C-file say you the one. But your demeanor and your attitude saying you don't fit in, you know, you're going to be working with kids one day. And I'm like, man, I ain't hear that bullshit. Nigga, you know who I am? And that's how I thought and that's how I felt.
And they told you this in prison, like a prison guard or something?
No, it was 4800 was the Crip module in LA County Jail.
Okay.
So anytime we come down from prison, they put us two places, high power or the Crip module. If we were Crips or the Bloods, the Blood modules. So they put me in the Crip module, but before they put me in the Crip module, they put you in the OSS, is the Gang Task Force unit, who kind of want to have a profile on you. So since they didn't have a profile on me, they put me in there, and they just felt by watching the few days I was in the Crip module that I didn't blend in because I didn't sag. I didn't carry a rag in the back of my pocket. You know, I didn't do the what everybody feel we do as gang members. You know, we look a certain way, we feel a certain way, we smell a certain way, and we act a certain way. I wasn't that person.
Yeah.
You know, but my C-file, you know, my C-file is the file I accumulated over 19 and a half years in state prison. You know, my C-file dictated to them and showed them that I was a very violent individual, because out of my 19 and a half years, I spent over 8.5 years straight in the hole, consolidated confinement. Because I was known for knocking down, you know, other races in the racial wars that we have in California state prison system. You know, and I was known for knocking down most of them guys on a regular basis. So my C-file pushed for me to say that dude is a violent dude. Then as well as I used to be a part of a organization, a Crip organization called CCO, Consolidated Crip Organization, you know, where we taught that we were black men first, but it kind of helped us structure ourselves. When I first went to prison in 78, 79, we didn't have no real leaders. We didn't have no one to show us youngsters. I'm 16, 17 years old in 78, 79. I'm in the belly of the beast. Like, who gonna show me something? But instead, you know, the Black Guerrilla family was sliding, the BJF was sliding books up on your door. Open your book, welcome to the Jama family. They was entrapping us. But I was so ignorant at that time, I didn't bite into that. I came out my cell, nigga, fuck y'all, I'm not from there. You know what I mean? But so in my early years in prison, we had no guidance. We basically fended for ourselves. But you have to understand that 78, 79, there was probably a total of 50 or 60 Crips in the whole California prison system. They had about 13, 14 prisoners at that time. And from 81 to 83, you went from 50 to about 3,000 Crips, you know, in the jails, and now you got all these so-called animals, as they called us at that time, you know, in all these different institutions. You have some brothers that came together, so let's try to bring about a structure, you know, and show these young brothers a system. And the CCO taught me how to read. I never went farther than 7th grade. You know, I got kicked out of most of the schools in Compton Unified District and Long Beach Unified School District. So I didn't make it past 7th grade, you know, and it taught me how to read. And every time we had a quiet period, we had to read. During them quiet periods, we had to read books. And not only read the book, but do a book report from what you just read. And I used to say, what the fuck is a book report, man? I don't know motherfucking book report. You know, and guys had to show them, no, big homie, you got to read it and kind of articulate what you read. So what is articulate? I'm telling you, I had a 7th grade education. You know, I got my high school diploma in prison. When a lady came and said, let's take GED, she'd be back in 2 hours. I made the dude next door to my cell take my test, give it back, and so I turned it in when she came back, and I got something in my little mail, said I got my high school diploma. I didn't get shit. He got it for me.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know, my mind was different.
Yeah.
You know, but with that structure to kind of help me be a better person, it kind of help me understand and articulate things. And I've learned a step-by-step process within that organization. And in the beginning, that organization was the best thing for Crips. Then you had another organization that was created off Death Row called the Blue Notes, you know, and that was another positive and good group, you know. But as everything that we have a tendency of building, and coming together, we eventually self-destruct from within, like the Panthers, like the Us. I mean, if you go back in history, we either tell on each other. Like lately, I've watched the United States against Billie Holiday. I watched that other little young sister who was doing the piano, and she said, if my mother and father can't sit up front, I'm not going to do it, as an 11-year-old. I can't remember her name, but in both, Nina Simone.
Oh, okay.
And in so many ways, it was they black men, they husbands giving them up to the feds. The feds wanted Billie Holiday so bad. Lady Sang the Blues did not give it the justice. It was a good movie, but did not give it the realness and the justice of why Billie Holiday was a target from J. Edgar Hoover. There was a lot of different things going on. So the same things that went on with them, the same things went on with the Panthers, where when they top dogs eventually worked with the feds to tell and help destruct the Panthers, our organization got destroyed the same way from within. So eventually I dismantled that organization, CCO, against all odds, because in the beginning it was the greatest thing for us Crips. At the end it became very poisonous. So knowing that and all that, and then you go to a county jail, you got a stockpile of gang members, and 4,800, 3,000 to 4,000 Crips in one unit, and 8 to 10 men cells, you know, and you got these tiers, and you like, these are animals. Then I come through there, and the first thing they tell me, you don't fit in, but my C-file dictates I belong there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So when he said I'd be working with kids, I never thought that. I never dreamed of that. For one, when they gave me my time, I wasn't expecting to get out because I lived the life I live. I told my mother at 12 years old, I don't have a mother. Don't ever come visit me. That's what kind of cat I became over time. I raised myself in the institution. Yes, my uncles are original Compton Crips from Eastside Oaks Park businessmen, which is now Santana Block. But for the most part, I raised myself. I ran away at 11, 12 years old. I was in the streets doing minor things and other little things and carrying guns and thought I was somebody. But I was Rudolph at that time. But when I went behind that wall, that juvenile system, that CYA system, and I got kicked out of all of them CYAs, Paso Robles, Nellis, and YTS, I became an animal. I became a monster. I gave myself my name, Crazy Mr. Rocc Head, or what's as they say, Joe Rocc Head from Compton Crip. You know what I mean? Yeah. I became that dude right there. And becoming that dude, you know, I'm just sitting back, and I'm like, damn, this motherfucker said I'll be working with kids. I never understood it because even when they did Hip Hop Uncover, when Big U mentioned my name, we talked a little bit, and I'm standing there, you know, and they kind of, you know, me and Kev Mack video, I mean, y'all need to really watch his stuff because he's really showing the world not only that's where we came from, but what we doing today, as me and you going to get more into it about that. But, you know, people always look at us and point fingers at us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, that I've proven to others that you can change. Jim Brown gave me hope. And that's why I started off by saying, once I learned that I am not cursed at birth, that I am somebody, he gave me life. That man gave me life because by going up there at that time, I was either going to go back to jail or die in the streets. That's where I was heading. And I didn't care if I went to jail or not. Just like when I was in jail, I didn't care if I stayed in jail for the rest of my life. I got one visit, and that was in the late 80s because one of my cellies, mom wanted to call me out while his wife called him out so I could at least see how a visiting room was. I didn't want visits, but I didn't need for nothing behind that wall because I was Joe Rocc Head. You know what I mean? So that kind of shocked me when he said that. So when I hooked up with Jim Brown, And I'm start going through the process, and I'm like, okay. And then I saw them kids, and I wanted to help them kids. You know, jumping into the belly of the beast in a positive way is just as dangerous as in a bad way, because when I jumped in there, I'm like, somebody said, Rocc Head. I said, what? How you going to pay for going to Vegas? What you mean? He said, the next tournament in Vegas. Las Vegas? I ain't never been to Las Vegas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I said, so that I reached out to my brother, Ant, you know, and Ant's my second to the youngest brother. And out of 8 of us, there's 4 girls, 4 boys. He played a little basketball, Long Beach State, played a little basketball. I think he tried out for the Phoenix Suns at one time. I think that's the year Kenny Battle came in. And when they came in, they cut him. You know, Ant know basketball. So I went to my little brother and said, I need to understand this game because I want to help these kids. You know, he said, well, I'm going to call Dwayne Cooper, who played for the Phoenix Suns, the Lakers, USC. Then one of my homeboys, you know, rest in peace, Big Raider, he said, man, he said, Big Rocc Head. I said, what? Well, you know, my big cousin, you know, Jeremiah Adams went to Vervin Day, played for Oregon, got drafted by the Bulls, played 2 years, and played last 10 years overseas. He'll help you, you know. So I reached out to him. You know, the first thing Coop said, okay, Rocc, how are we going to pay for all this? You talking about 2 teams going to Las Vegas. We got to get transportation. We got to get uniforms, shoes, basketball. How you going to do all this, Rocc Head? I'm like, I don't know. Shit, nigga.
What year was that? Because was that
was
the
84,
year
84, 85.
that you took the first team?
Yeah.
Really?
That was my first year, that first year. But you wasn't on that team, remember?
No.
That team, I met a brother from Canada, and he brought 5 players from Canada, and they played with me as well.
What?
Yes.
And your first year doing it.
His first year doing it.
God damn.
So what happened, I said, man, I got to go to Jim Brown. So I went up to Jim's house. I said, Jim, man, I need some help. He said, what? He said, I'm trying to, you know, I'm going to sponsor some kids, about 22 kids, take them to Vegas for a basketball. He said, well, you got your budget together? I like, what's that? I didn't know. I mean, Jim showed me how to open up a bank account. I'm 30-something years old, didn't know how to open a bank account. You know, so he said, you got to give me a budget. So, you know, I said, hold on. I called Coop. I said, Coop, Jim talking about a budget. He said, Rocc, you need a budget. You got to put all your items down. And he said, put me on, put it on speaker. I said, man, his phone ain't got no speaker. You know, he said, okay, Rocc, let's meet with him again. So we ended up meeting with Jim, and Jim said, what I need the money for, what I'm paying for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So Coop and Jerry helped me put a budget together. After we put that budget together, it came up to about 15, 16 grand, you know, and so I submitted to Jim, and Jim like, no problem, roll me a check. Then Coop like, we got to get cashier's check. I said, what's a cashier's check? I had no idea. I'm being introduced to another animal, but like I said, a positive way, but it was an animal me because I never thought I would function like this. You know what I mean? And then they helped me walk me through, and we got cashier's checks, and you know, we went to watch summer games and recruited kids, and I'm sitting back, cuz, come here, cuz, who you fucking play with, cuz? I mean, I was raw. Yeah. I was uncut. You know how I dealt with y'all sometimes. I was uncut. You know, I didn't know I was supposed to cuss at these kids. Man, fuck that. You know? So I'm uncut, so I'm like, come on, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Who you playing with? Well, no, fuck them. You ain't playing for them, cuz. You playing for me. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm just talking, but I'm serious about getting them.
Right.
So we get enough players, and we practice, and they showing me different shit. And so my brother, who coaching, bro? I'm coaching this motherfucking team, man. Fuck you. You know, and so we went to Vegas. I'm not knowing, not one kid ever left their city before. Not one kid never left Long Beach, never been out of Compton, never been out of L.A., never been out the West. I mean, these kids, and that's what I think society don't really get. In our time, especially in my time, but in the 90s, it was still existing. Parents was not getting out showing their kids the different things, the diversity, how things show how diverse everything is. They are stuck. And a lot of it by choice, a lot of it because they don't know no better. Like, I didn't know no better. And, man, we went to Vegas. Man, we lost every game by 30 points. And I'm cussing and fussing and shit. Then one day after the last game, they crying. What y'all crying for, man? Man, fuck that. You ain't fucking crying. What you crying for, coach? We not crying because we lost. We crying because we ain't never been outside of Compton before. We never been outside alone before. This shit is fun, coach. We ain't had nobody trust us like you trust us. So I told Coop, we got enough money, man, for another day or two. He said, Rocc, if we don't, I'll pay for it. And we stayed 2 more days for the youngsters to have fun.